How are we doing, guys? I'm the editor-in-chief of the Watercraft Journal. My name is Kevin Shaw. Thanks for tuning in tonight. We're going to take a minute just to let the numbers rack up a little bit. We're already at 45 people. We can spool that up. So while guys, if you can hit that like button, we're going to let a few more people come in and join the chat. One of the new rules, of course, is that you got to be a subscriber if you want to leave a comment and be a part of the chat. So, and there is no time limit. You can literally subscribe for 5 seconds, and then you can leave a comment. But let's get the likes up while we wait for some folks to show up, and I go over my notes, and then we should be good to go. Okay. All right. I hate dead air, so I just don't want to leave you guys hanging. We got a little bit of news going on. We got some stuff that's pretty exciting. And today's topic is hopefully not going to be a downer, but I'm pretty sure for a lot of people it's going to cause a whole lot of emails going, I don't know what to do. What do I do? I'm in a panic. I'm whipped up into a foam. What do I do? And my answer to that is don't email me. Do your own homework. But we'll get into it in a little bit. I apologize. I'm being snarky. But all right. So the title should make you nervous, Mike. If you're not paying attention, that freight train is going to hit you. All right. Well, let's go over a little bit of what's going on in the magazine before we get into the main topic. And surprising was on Friday, the team published what we called an uncut video. And what the uncut video was literally just a piece of footage from beginning to end that we had not modified, that we had not edited. And I just did a little bit of voiceover on it. And what was interesting about that is about a year ago, maybe over a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago, we used to do uncut videos and nobody watched them and they were totally downvoted and people hated them. So to kind of increase our algorithm, we stopped doing them. Friday, that video went pretty well. And so if you guys got to see Friday's video, and that was just footage for me going through the bayou on our panhandle ride with a little bit of voiceover. If you guys like that video and you want to see more uncut videos, please let me know because I got more. In fact, tomorrow's is going to be an uncut video, but it's going to be from a different angle. And it's also going to be a little bit of technique when it comes to writing. There's just a lot of folks who are going out and buying high-performance watercraft, and they're really not acclimated to how to really get the best performance out of it. And particularly with the GP and the Yamaha FX and the Yamaha GP, those watercraft dramatically respond to your body English. And so I give a little bit of tutorial on that one. I give a little bit of explanation of what I'm doing in it. And hopefully you guys can take just that little nugget of information and apply it to your weekend riding and push yourself a little bit harder and really end up having a really good time. So if you guys really enjoyed the uncut videos, it mixed in between the quick topics, please let me know here in the comment section. And then if you miss a chance to do it in the comment section, definitely go to the video itself and give it a thumbs up and leave a comment so that me and my guys can take a look at it and be like, okay, hey, listen, this is working out. Okay, so that was number one. I don't know why I put my red marker away. Oh, Billy's here. I already missed Billy. Holy cow. And everyone's already welcoming Billy. I love it. Woo! We've made it work. That fills me with so much joy. That's great. Okay. And by the way, guys, if you want to get some free stickers, I'm giving away free stickers to any super chat question. If you leave a super chat, $5 more, boom, you get 2 free stickers. I might make it more than 2 because we got a whole big stack that I want to get out of here because we have new stickers coming, new shirts coming, and new jerseys coming this riding season, and I want to clear it all out. Okay, so great. Okay, we got Billy. That's awesome. Guys, let's get the likes up to 50, and we'll start getting on the main topic. Okay. Also, if you haven't already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do. And more importantly, please subscribe to our newsletters. Okay. Newsletter subscriptions are a big, big deal. And I'll tell you why. The newsletter subscription is number one, totally private. I don't give out that list. In fact, I can't access that list. I've had people reach out to me and go, "Hey, Kevin, can you change my email to this email?" I go, "I literally can't get in there." All right. I put the security level so high that I can't go in there and modify what the subscriber list is. So that's number one is I don't want your information. The government already has it. They're already monitoring everyone. So, they're watching this. Number two is for the newsletters. Guys, every single video we publish, every single article we publish, we do 2 newsletters, Friday and Saturday. Friday is all the articles, and Saturday is all the videos. We also put up promotions, okay? You'll see ads that are on the newsletter that you won't find on the magazine, and there's promotions there, okay? There's promotions for Sea-Doo apparel and Sea-Doo accessories. There's promotions from Riva. There's promotions from Green Hulk. There's promotions from Broward Motorsports. There's so many promotions. And those ads and those promotions, some of them are not found on the magazine. So if you guys are looking at getting geared up for the riding season, get on the newsletters. You're missing out. You're missing out. And then I got people going, "Hey, what happened to that video?" Or "Did you publish it?" "Yeah." "Did you get the newsletter?" "No." "Well, subscribe to the newsletter. You'll have it." "What about that article?" "It was in the newsletter." So I'm telling you, subscribe to the newsletters. It's free. It goes right to the email account of your choice. I put the hyperlink at the top of this. Please, please, please subscribe to the newsletters. That helps us out. That helps you out. So hopefully you guys like that. All right, so you knocked that out. Someone already asked about the snow. We did a little teaser this afternoon. Snow temperatures at 40 degrees. We just got the flurry that hit the Great Lakes area, kind of spilled over into Tennessee. I know North Carolina got hammered, and some of Georgia got hit too. So if you guys are underneath some unexpected snow, let us know in the comment section. All right. Last bit of news that we're really excited about. If you saw it on Friday, we just made it official. All right. One of the biggest things that I've been screaming at you guys about and being a total hypocrite about is beaching skis. Beaching skis is the number one way to wear the paint off of your Yamaha. It's the number one way to get sand into your carbon seal. Please stop beaching. Please stop beaching. Even if you gently pick up the nose and been doing for years, all the information that I have gotten in the last 3 years has done nothing but totally convert me to anchoring. All right. All the information, all the inside information, all the tech information that I got on carbon seals over the last 5 years, all point at beaching and shallow start for, a lesser, equal extent. But I'm absolutely, completely and totally converted to anchoring. All right. And I know you guys have been watching the videos and I've been talking about anchoring forever since then. But when it comes to choosing anchors, I've tested probably 5. And one of them I'd never reviewed because quite frankly, it was a ripped off design. and I didn't want to give that guy any press. And then there's some infighting, and every group or every club seems to have their own anchor, and I'm just like, you know what? I don't want any part of this craziness. But I didn't even clean this stinking thing. You can see the sand on it. But really, really happy with this one. I've had it for about a month, and to be honest, the pictures made it look bigger. And I haven't had it in any sort of like rough surf. I haven't anchored my watercraft in any sort of rough surf to really push this one. But I have gone to the different little sandbars and hangouts. And the one thing that I really like, I was able to get it into some rocky. We don't really have sandy shoreline in Tennessee. You're not going to see a lot of sandy shoreline. But I was able to really stomp on it and get it into some rocky Tennessee shoreline. And that was really cool that I was able to do it. It didn't scratch it or hurt it up very much, or actually at all. I mean, it looks pretty cherry pie. Still looks really brushed on the inside. So really excited to bring Sand Docker on as the official anchor, PWC anchor for 2022. Matt Carroll, the owner, is a really nice guy. He's always on his phone. He's always responding to text messages and emails. Holy cow, that guy. That guy responds like lightning fast. I had a million tech questions for him, and he just blew up my cell phone. It was great. It was my mistake for giving him my cell phone number. But the one thing that I want to say is that Sand Docker has not paid me a dime. I've not received a red cent from Matt at Sand Docker. So I don't know what to tell the people on Facebook, but they didn't pay for this. I literally awarded it because I was so happy with this. I have video of my 8-year-old daughter using this. So if my 8-year-old little girl can put that anchor in all the way in Tennessee shoreline, not powdered sugar sand beaches of Florida, you guys can do it too. So I'm really, really happy with that product. You're going to see more. You're going to see a big review on it, probably like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I want to give it a little bit more time. Yeah, you'll see a review on it, and then we're going to help promote it. And so, yeah, I'm when I find a product that I really stand behind, like these guys, the Wind Rider is not paying me to promote this. All right. Yeah, I got some product. I got like 3 pairs of these, but I'm not getting a check. So when there's product that I stand behind, predominantly stand behind, let me back up. When there's American-made product, I'll typically stand behind it. When there's just simply high quality product, I'll super stand behind it. You'll hear me go off. All right. Like, how many times have I talked about Riva sponsons? Holy cow. So that's, again, what I'm talking about. So anyway, that is the news that I had for right now. And I am going to start this off. All right. I'm going to do my damnedest not to make this political. I'm going to do my damnedest not to ostracize one side of the aisle or the other. You guys can do it. I'm not going to do it. But I'm going to just read sources, and I'm going to play some video. I'm going to put my microphone next to the speaker, and I'm going to pump up the speaker. All right. And then I'm going to talk to you about some inside stuff that I know, and then I'm going to give you some tips on how to maybe circumvent what we got going on. But let me read something that's super boring that a lot of people are going to tune out on. But I'm going to read a aggregate report that was written using the recent Bloomberg reporting on CPI. All right. And hold on, let me answer this. Oh my goodness. All right. CPI index, or consumer pricing index. Okay. Consumer pricing index is rating the cost of goods and the change in cost in goods. All right. That's all we're talking about right now, is the change in cost in goods. All right. Milk, gasoline, bacon, used trucks, whatever. All right. So right now, according to Bloomberg, who, Mike Bloomberg doesn't care for the right-wing Trumpers, as a Democrat. All right. I'm using Bloomberg as a source. All right. So, it's not coming from Fox News. All right. Consensus was convinced, with barely any outliers, that this morning's consumer price index, and this is from, let's see. All right. Last Wednesday, this morning's consumer price index would print with an astonishing 7%. And notably, 7 of the last 9 releases have come in above consensus. All right. And they nailed it with a 7% print at its highest since June of 1982. Right now, the consumer price index is the highest it's been since 1982. All right. There's the chart. I could provide the chart if you guys want, but I'm going to read this. That is the 19th straight monthly rise in headline CPI, consumer price index, and core CPI also surged to its highest since February of 1991. Let's see here. Source Bloomberg. Under the hood, commodities, shelter, and new and used cars and trucks saw prices jump the most, and 0.4% retracement. All right. So there was a slight dip in energy costs. The cost of putting a roof over your head is accelerating once again. Shelter inflation rises to 4.13 year to year from 3.84, the highest since February of 2007. All right. And we know how inflated the housing costs were in 2007, right? It was stupid. All right. All of, the whole housing market and all the banks were purposely just inflating that because they knew it was going to pop. All right. And they were lining their own pockets. Used car CPI versus Manheim Index. If you think that the used car CPI is going to slow down anytime soon, you should think again. All right. It's up. It's up over 17%. Okay. In fact, while services inflation rose 3.7 to its highest since 2007, goods inflation soared almost 11%, 10.7% year to year, which is the highest since May 1975. The goods inflation soared to its highest since May of 1975. Finally, and perhaps most importantly for Main Street, real average hourly earnings fell down to 2.4% for the 9th straight months. This is real jobs reporting. So here's what I'm going to play for you. Sorry, that was my speaker going to the max. All right. This is CNBC interviewing one of the board members of the API, which is if you guys don't know who API is a hiring service. All right, but a high-level executive hiring service. Okay, I hopefully I don't blow the eardrums out on everyone, but I have it queued up to a very interesting point. This woman is on the board of API, and she's giving her assessment of the current CPI, food and energy index, and employment in the United States.
CPI numbers. What I'm concerned about is that, yes, we've seen wage increases, but we've seen wage increases driven by labor shortages. The economy, and this is an important point, hasn't added one single job from the 2019 high watermark. Not one. All the jobs that we have seen gain are recovered jobs that were lost. We are not yet producing new jobs. In fact, we're still about nearly 4 million jobs short. So these wage gains are coming on top of a shrinking workforce, and it's not being fueled by productivity enhancements. What's driving inflation right now is the input shortages and the labor shortages and not productivity. So I think that wages are going to be a false metric. It's not driving inflation. And wages are trying to keep up with an economy that is now feeling the effects of all kinds of different shortages from different angles.
Okay. So what does that tell you? Cost of living your life every day is higher than it's been in nearly a decade. In certain instances, since before I was born. May of 1975. All right, just for consumer goods. And then we have the jobs reports saying that we're still 4 million jobs in the hole. All right, we're still behind 2019's jobs by 4 million. So kind of makes you wish it was 2019 again, right? That alone should horrify you. That alone should tell you that your money is worth less than it was 3 years ago. The value of your dollar, the value of your savings is worth less than it was 2 or 3 years ago. All right. Now, before we turn this into a let's go Brandon fest, the last year of Trump, they were printing money like it was going out of style. In fact, we printed more money in a year and a half. First, the last year of Trump and the first half of Biden, we printed more money in a year and a half than we did in 40 years. So there's some guilty parties on both sides of the aisle here. Let's just be really, really fair about it, okay? Government's going to spend money, and when they run out of money, they're going to make more of it. I don't like any politicians because they just want to spend money. What this does, what all this information does, what all of this I'm trying to say is manufacturers right now are peeing their pants. I had 2 conversations this week that made me choose this topic for Sunday. I was not going to do this topic ever. I don't think ever. The conversations I had this week pretty much freaked me out. Freaked me out to the point that I'm like, well, maybe I should spend a little bit more time working on the other magazine. What is happening is Kawasaki and Yamaha are still Japanese companies. And the Japanese are very aware of what happened in 2008, 2009, and what happened to them in 2010. The Japanese are not going to be caught again with their pants down. They won't. Right now, the budgets for these two companies have been all but completely eviscerated. Promoting product, media, advertising, they're generating. I mean, even when it comes to promoting the dealers, they're putting the product out and they're just going to kind of sit on the rest of the money. They're very concerned. In fact, they're so concerned that halfway through this year that there's going to be a crash of the dollar, that both conversations raise the question of, should we, catch me on this one, should we build enough units to satisfy demand? And I said no. I said, you'd be a fool. Not in the sense of a marketing, like, ooh, leave them wanting more, but to cover their own butt. I'm like, people can wait another year. A company can't take it in the chin. BRP Sea-Doo has a lot riding on 2022. A lot riding. Okay. Predominantly the Switch effort. They put a lot into Switch. And if this year goes tits up, we got a problem. They got a problem. Because people are not going to buy a boat. And they're not going to buy a jet ski. That was a big play by BRP. But again, I think so many gears were already in motion. The wheels were already spinning that they said, come hell or high water, we're putting these boats out. So they're hopeful. And again, here's the other half of this. Here's the other half of it when it comes to brilliant play. Flip side, because this was the other conversation. And you're not gonna, a lot of you guys who are sneering at the Switch, think about it this way. If the dollar collapses under the weight of this inflation, come summer, guess what happens in summertime? Cost of fuel goes up. Cost of energy goes up. Right? Summertime gasoline. Ooh. Ooh, everyone's got their AC on. We got to charge more for electricity. Oh, we got all these electric cars all tapping into the electric grid now. Well, golly gee, I guess we got to pump up the cost of electricity now. Happens all the time. Look at California. California has such a dilapidated grid, has so many people drawing on the grid that they have random rolling brownouts. All the time. My parents and my brother and sister live out there and their families. And they have blackouts. My brother's got a generator. My dad hasn't hooked up his house to a generator. But it happens. All right? There's no money coming in to update the grid, and everyone's on the grid. Okay? I mean, hell, they dismantled San Onofre nuclear plant. That was the one that looked like the big boobs. You saw it on, remember the movie Naked Gun with Leslie Nielsen, where they're driving in the car and he goes, everything I see reminds me of her. And they look at San Onofre and it's got the two big reactor domes. Anyway, got a long blonde hair swirling around my desk, which means my children were playing on my desk. So we have a lot of things ramping up to May, June. And if costs continue to rise, gas costs and energy costs continue to rise, you're going to see backlash. And you're going to see, again, a potential collapse of the dollar. think about this. Think about boat buyers and boat owners. Well, maybe I'm not going to buy that $40,000 pontoon boat or tritoon, but I might check out that bright, that bright blue or bright red Sea-Doo thing over there, and they'll hop, skip, and jump over to a Sea-Doo dealer and buy a switch. So it might not be the first time boat buyer buying switches this year. It might be disenfranchised big dollar boat buyers reducing their purchase down to a switch. That was the most interesting piece of one of the conversations I had was, hey, people are still going to spend money. The people with money still spend money. Ballers going to ball. You can't really tell them not to. So the guy who's thinking about buying, a Big Daddy tritoon, and then his investment portfolio takes a dump, but he's still dead set on having a boat on the lake this year, he might walk over and go get a 19-foot switch fully loaded. And that might work out in Sea-Doo's favor. And that was the one thing, because I was all doom and gloom on the conversation. I was like, oh my gosh, we're all going to die. And the guy on the other line was like, well, think about it this way. I was like, oh, okay, that's a good idea. And he's like, in regards to the switch, I was like, oh man, Sea-Doo might be caught with their pants down if this hits. And he goes, no, I want you to think about it on the flip side. And I was like, oh, okay, that kind of light bulb went off. So that's concerning. That was really concerning. And now we got to look at what's happening currently. All right. Not speculation. This isn't coming out of Kevin's head. Let's talk about what is currently happening right now. Excuse me. Sea-Doos are showing up at dealerships incomplete. They're showing up without dashboards. They're showing up without ECUs. They're showing up without some major electronic components. What is interesting about this play, because Yamaha and Cowie would never send out an incomplete product. I have it from the horse's mouth. They told me so this week. But Sea-Doo's doing it. And in having that conversation, they asked me, well, why do you think they're doing it? And I said, well, I think they're trying to avoid a PR disaster. And he says, well, that can't be possible. That wouldn't work. And I go, well, think about it this way. People who put deposits down on Yamahas in 2020 waited over a year to get their units. Many people did. Not all. I shouldn't say all. That's not fair. Many people who are looking for GP, SVHO GPs, SVHO FXs were caught waiting a very long time for their watercraft. And this was done, or this happened because of supply chain. The materials necessary to finish these watercraft and boats simply were not available to them. And I've done videos talking about why were there delays, why were there holdups, what's going on. David, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. In Sea-Doo's case, we know it is it's a chip shortage. It is an electronics shortage. And everyone's saying, oh, that's BS and that's crap. And I'm like, nope, it's legit. Because right now, and what's not being reported in U.S. news, but what is being reported in Australia, so I had to dig up some Australian news, and I lost the link. I didn't have time to dig it up, was a large percentage of our electronic components come from China, of course, but also come from Taiwan. And right now, China owns about 70% of the rare earth metal mines in the globe, on the earth. They own 70% of the rare earth metal mines on planet Earth. That's pretty big. That's a pretty big percentage. Interestingly, though, Taiwan does a lot of the manufacturing for these chips. And what was reported it was in an automotive magazine or automotive website from Australia, was that because of the growing military conflicts between Taiwan and China, because the government of China does not recognize the sovereignty of Taiwan. They believe that Taiwan belongs to them. So they are making military moves to reabsorb Taiwan. And what is happening is they are being blockaded by the Chinese Navy. And the U.S. Navy, if you guys remember, tried to intercede and got chased out. We tucked our tail and ran away crying boo-hoo-hoo all the way home. And that was in this last year, like recently. I think it was like July that happened. Right now, Taiwan is being strangled to death. And so you can't expect a lot of shipping to come out of Taiwan when they have a military blockade outside of their port. So the chip shortage is real. And unfortunately, because we have, and I don't care what side of the aisle you claim to be a part of, this country has abdicated its manufacturing overseas. I don't care what country. I don't care if it's Canada. All right. Mexico, Canada, the Philippines, Taiwan, China, Australia. It doesn't matter. We have abdicated our manufacturing sovereignty, our manufacturing independence, in order to satiate a one world economy. Well, this is what happens when you have a one world economy. The United States does not make aspirin. Do you know that? We don't make our own aspirin. We don't make our own insulin. All right, I'm not diabetic, but my mother-in-law was. We haven't made insulin in this country since the early 80s. China makes it for us. Same thing with aspirin. We don't make our own basic medications. So when we sit around and go, how could my Yamaha not have the right component, plastic clips and little retainers and all the little fixtures so that it could show up and be at my dealership and I could go ride? Well, bro, we don't make our own Tylenol. Okay? We've flittered it away. We've just said, oh, you can do it for cheap because you guys are using slave labor, which we know for a fact they use slave labor. We don't do anything about it. We haven't said, no, don't do that. We haven't done a damn thing about it because we like paying nothing. We like paying slave wages. So here's the ugly side of capitalism for all you progressives who hate us evil capitalists. There's another round for your magazine on that one. Put that one in your chamber. So it's bad news. It's bad news. Okay. Japan read the writing on the wall when it got bloody. That's why Yamaha made a lot of big effort to start schools for training. They started classes for vocational colleges to start teaching students how to work on their machine, or work on their engines, work on their boats, work on their watercraft, everything. They also started internal training. They also started a lot of internal manufacturing. Kawasaki is thankfully, Lincoln, Nebraska is thankfully at 100%. In fact, they're trying to hire more people. They want more fabricators. They want more welders. They're hiring. Like if you want to live in Lincoln, Nebraska and work for Cowie, they'll take you. They're hiring. They're not short-staffed. They have a full staff at the manufacturing facility in Lincoln. They just want more people. So that all being said, what's happening? Sea-Doo Watercraft are showing up at dealerships incomplete. What they're also doing is a lot of those dealers say, hey, that RXTX or that RXPX or that GTX Limited, that is got a $5,000 deposit by John Doe. I'm going to let John Doe know that his Watercraft showed up and we're just waiting for parts. So instead of John Doe going, dude, the dealership has had my money for 6 months. I haven't heard a damn word from them. I'm flipping out. I want to go get my deposit back. The dealer pops in and goes, hey, your ski's here. If you want to go check it out, it's here. But unfortunately, we can't give it to you because it doesn't have a dashboard. It's frustrating. Trust me, it's frustrating. But it's also relieving to know, hey, it's here. I know where it is. I can drive over there and put my hands physically on that GTX and go, at least it's here. Toys, X Toys. Email me at info@watercraftjournal.com, info@watercraftjournal.com, your mailing address, and I'll send you a handful of stickers. Thank you for the super chat. So Sea-Doo is doing a little bit of a PR move that is kind of the antithesis of what Yamaha went through. All right, past tense went through. Because Yamaha had those delays that in some cases lasted 13 months. And I'm not joking. Some people waited 13, 14 months for a Watercraft. It was a nightmare. Sea-Doo's trying to circumvent that by saying, hey, get the ski out of here, clear off, clear out our shipping yard, clear out the containers, and get it to the dealership. The dealer, and we'll make it the dealer's problem to store it. And that way we can keep the trucks moving. That way we can get these vehicles out. And when we get the chips, we'll send the dashboards out. We'll send the ECUs out. Oh, got another super chat. Thank you, Atlas. Atlas writes, we are in a crazy situation right now, period. But with that said, I want my 2 FX SVHOs. But on a serious note, everyone make sure to save your pennies. It will likely get worse before it gets better. Yeah. I foresee everything and the kitchen sink being thrown at the American people before and during the midterm elections this year. I think it's going to be bedlam. I think we're going to, if you thought November, December, January of 2020, 2021 was bad, hang on tight, kids. You're in for a bumpy ride. So, Atlas, make sure to email me your mailing address and I'll send you some stickers. So, Sea-Doo sending out partially complete. Let's put a positive spin on it. Put some marketing spin on it. Partially complete units to the dealers. Here's the other thing. Dealers are using this opportunity to go, hey, you notice your skis here, right? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, you want to come check it out? Sure, I'll come check it out. Okay, well, it's still in the crate. You get a sneak peek. We'll take the cover off. We'll let you look at it. Okay. And it's like, you could really use a cooler on the back of that thing. Oh, I got a cooler. Yeah, but, we got some Sea-Doo accessories here, or we got some XYZs here in the parts department. You should check it out. They're upselling customers. All right. Because the customer knows his ski is sitting there. And now he's getting all excited. He's got his wheels turning. And he starts thinking, well, I might want that ski pylon. My kid likes to wakeboard. Oh, okay. Or, I like that storage separator bag, the netted separator bag for my RXTX. Oh, yeah, we got one. We got one here in stock. We'll put it in there right now so you won't have to put it in yourself. Oh, cool, man. Thanks. The Sea-Doo dealers who are playing it smart, they're working it. All right. They're working it. I'm telling you. I've talked to them. They're working it. Okay. But you're still going to be waiting for your ski. right now, I can't get an ETA for dashboards and ECUs. I can't get an ETA because they don't have an ETA. They don't know when they're going to show up. They're waiting. Right now, I was told it's not a Port of Long Beach, Port of Los Angeles problem. I don't know if I'm 100% on board with that. But all that being said, they are hopeful, but they literally don't know. It could be next week. It could be in 4 months. They don't know. In addition to that, the other two companies, the Japanese brands, Kawasaki and Yamaha, they're feeling it too. And production has been delayed. They told me a month, which means 6 to 8 weeks. That means everything's getting pushed back. So that's not good news. Thankfully, the Yamahas are trickling. They're trickling out. They are rolling out. Okay. Thankfully, a truck will show up and drop off, a dozen units or half a dozen units. It's not all the big stuff that the dealer has purchased or ordered, but it's some of it. I've seen lots of VX HOs and TR1 powered VXs. I've seen a handful of naturally aspirated FXs get out. EXs are cranking out. I haven't seen any dealerships with flooring a jet blaster yet, which I think is weird. That's a weird one to me. But I just haven't seen a dealer with a jet blaster on the floor. But there's not a lot of SVHO powered GPs and FXs coming out. Not a lot, some, but that was the way it was last year too. There's an initial bump and then there's a locking up of the brakes. So that's concerning. Kawasaki still has their STXs coming out. Their old school Ultras are out. The Ultra naturally aspirated Ultras. But the new ones, I'm not even sure if they're being produced yet. I can't give you a hard answer if they've even fired up the molds and started cranking out the new ones yet. All I know is we're looking at delays. We're looking at month and a half is safe. 2 months if you want to play it cool. So what does that mean for you? We're already at 50 minutes. What does that mean for you? Well, if you are a regular buyer, you regularly buy Watercraft, you rotate out every couple of years, you have a dealership that you trust, you have a dealer that you have a good relationship with, and you've already given them a deposit, chances are you have nothing to worry about. They're just going to let you know when the unit shows up because you have that relationship. If you've got an established relationship with that dealership, you're good. Or if you find a dealer who is Johnny on the spot and is really customer oriented, and they keep in contact with the customer, they give you updates, they send you links to Facebook posts, whatever it might be. That will be also in your favor. But if you have hurriedly ran out and put a deposit down at any dealership, and you have no understanding of who that dealer is, besides the fact that they sell Yamahas. Well, I want a Yamaha this year. Well, have you done your due diligence? Have you been a careful shopper? Have you seen how many units that dealer particularly gets in the year? Have you done any sort of homework? Anything? Because a lot of people don't. I mean, holy cow. A lot of people just go, Dad sells jet skis. I want jet ski. Here's my money. And then they sit there with their finger up their nose for 8 months and they go, why haven't I gotten my jet ski? It's because the dealership that you randomly picked gets 18 units a year. And they have no customer service. They have a turnaround like a TGI Fridays. And no one knows anything. They don't do anything. I literally heard stories of flatbeds coming in, dropping off 8 units, and the service guy literally had no idea for like weeks. And he goes, oh, wait a minute. Oh, we got new skis in? Oh, I guess I should call some people. Oh, that's interesting, Billy. Billy writes, I heard from a local dealer that a few 2022 STX 160s are on hold again for a campaign on the hood situation. They told me they couldn't sell what they have on the floor. This was a month ago. Really? They fixed the hood hinge. I saw the fixes. They were great. That's surprising. That's the first I've heard, Billy. Wow. Okay. Didn't know. So it's a little bit piecemealed when it comes to what's coming in. It's a little scattershot as to what units are coming in. Honestly, the OEs are doing their damnedest to get the product out as fast as they can. They really are. Unfortunately, Cowie and Yamaha are not going to fire up the presses if they don't have the product. That's just how they operate, because they don't want incomplete units sitting there. Because in 2020 and 2021, Yamaha had a whole warehouse full of their really nice boats waiting for product to finish them. And it was just bow to stern like a parking lot, the 405 freeway at 4:30 p.m. full of boats that they couldn't ship out to dealers because they were waiting on some little rinky-dink little parts. It's ridiculous. So they're not going to do that again. So only when they have all the pieces are they going to try to assemble Watercraft. They're just, and that makes sense to a logical-minded person. You're like, okay, why would you half-ass it? Let's wait till all the parts are there, right? Because that's how some people's heads work. So here's suggestions. These are actually suggestions I got from dealerships last year. Talked to Dave Bamdis at Riva. Talked to Marty and Noel at Cycle Springs. Talked to the guys at America's Motorsports. Talked to a bunch of people. I mean, I want to say probably 6 different high volume dealers. And I was like, what should people do? And in conversation, almost all, I mean, I don't want to put words in people's mouths who didn't say it, but many of these owners and managers of these very high volume multi-store dealerships or large volume dealers said, if they're not locked into a contract, get their deposits back. I was like, really? And they go, yeah. If the dealer is uncooperative, if the particular dealer they're working with is uncooperative or is being kind of a jerk, or you're dissatisfied with the customer service, demand your deposit back. It's okay. All right. Now, if the dealership you're working with has a change of heart, or they say, hey, listen, no, we don't want to lose your business. We want to work with you, Mr. Doe. What is it you're looking to get? And you're like, I want a phone call when the new units arrive. Or instead of this exact unit, I'm thinking one of these 4 or 5 units. So if one of these 4 or 5 units come in, I want to be the first person called. Okay, we can put you on a phone call list, or we can put you on an email list. Okay, that's all I'm asking for. All you have to do is negotiate with these guys. They want your business. All right. A dealer who doesn't want to make an effort doesn't really want your business that bad, do they? All right. So all it takes is squeezing these guys a little bit. That's it. So that's really the biggest thing. If you're locked in with a deposit, assess your relationship with the dealer, because a dealer worth his salt is going to want it to keep your business. All right. And then second of all, if you're a free agent, if you're not locked in anything, then what I strongly suggest is what I've suggested before. What I suggest is what I've suggested before. If you have not put a dollar down on anything, is I suggest you become a teenage girl and hang out on social media nonstop. Just be a teenager and be on your phone nonstop and have the trailer hitched to your truck at all times and have cash in your pocket. Because let's say a dealer 3 hours away has the exact, black metallic carbon RX-PX that you've been waiting for, and they put it up on Facebook or put it up on Instagram. You call them and you say, I can Venmo you money right now. I can PayPal you money right now. I'll be there in 3 hours time. I'm leaving work right now. And you jump in the truck and you absolutely put your foot to the floor and you get your butt there as fast as humanly possible. Because I think they're going to disappear. I think we're going to have a scarcity problem that's going to make your head spin on your shoulders like the freaking Exorcist. I really do. I'm at the point right now that I'm thinking I have nothing to back this. I have nothing to back this except for my gut and my experience. But I expect all 3 manufacturers to reduce their overall number this year. I do. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to be wrong. I'll be the first person to say that I'm happy I'm wrong. But I'm just saying, I think the production number is going to be reduced. I really do. So, guys, I'm sorry. I'm trying to make it upbeat. I tried to be as informed as I could. I thought I did quite a bit of show prep. I wanted to have those numbers. I wanted to have those articles and that video queued up. I wanted to convey that it wasn't coming out of my rear or coming out of some sort of, resource that, I'm not bringing up Alex Jones. So that's where we are. I'll go through some of these. I'm seeing guys saying I have a non-refundable deposit. I got nothing to tell you. I got no answers. I don't I don't pay up front for anything. I never buy the first year of anything. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But let's go through some questions and then we'll get out of here. I don't see any more super chats, so I'm not giving any more any more stickers away. But let's see what we got. All right. Joseph, yeah, there's a difference between Nano XL 1 and Nano XL 2, or what they call Nano XL and then Nano XL 2. Both units have fiberglass hulls. He's talking about the 2022 FX models. But the HO model has the Nano XL deck, and the SVHO model has the Nano XL 2 deck. There are differences. They are lighter weight. We've done an extraordinary amount of articles on Nano XL and Nano XL 2 on the Watercraft Journal. So you can go check it out at the Watercraft Journal. You'll get more information, more detailed information there than you will with me here trying to pull it out of my head at a moment's notice. All right. It's not a lie. My True Passion writes, "Hi, Kevin. Hope you're doing well. Went to my dealership the other day and he told me my CD was scheduled to arrive in March. Do you think it's a lie? I hope not." I don't think it's a lie. I don't think the dealer is lying to you. I think the dealer is going to be the last one to know, besides the customer, when the product shows up. With the delays that we are experiencing right now and everything that I've detailed in the last hour, I expect it to be a month late. If I'm wrong, I'm happy I'm wrong, and I'm happy you get to enjoy your Watercraft earlier. But I am trying to tamper a little bit of everyone's impatience because you're going to be waiting. You're going to be waiting. I'm telling you right now. All right. All right. More uncut videos. All right. We'll keep doing it. Guys, can we get the likes to 100? Before I end this, let's bump the likes up to 100. Let's take a minute. If you haven't already done it, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. But let's get the likes up to 100, please. Hamera Hura writes, "Hey, Kevin, I got my Watercraft Journal shirts about 10 days after I ordered them. They arrived in New Zealand just before Christmas. Thank you." Well, that's awesome. Wow, I had no idea it would be that stinking fast. That's great. Oh, we got a super. Hamera writes, "From New Zealand with $10. Thank you very much." And Hamera, if I mispronounce your name, I apologize. I duly apologize. Okay, let's keep it going. Joe writes, Joe Ferriera, "I spoke with the owner of JetX Performance because of your show. My ski is my ski going to do 85 miles per hour all day. Thanks, Kevin." Yeah, I'll tell you what, the guys at JetX are freaking animals. All right, the stuff those guys are putting out, especially with Sea-Doos. Yeah, they're killer. All right. It's not my anchor, guy. Lewis. It's Sandocker is not my anchor. This is just this is a brand called Sandocker. They've been around for a while, and they're out of Jupiter, Florida, and they just make a really quality product. and I haven't been able to ruin it. I typically destroy stuff, and this one's held up. So, it's just brushed aluminum. It's not anodized. It's not painted. You're not going to scratch the paint or the anodizing on it. The other thing that I really like is if you get the kit, he's got, I haven't put it in yet, double-sided tape, but he's got a little mounting strap that goes around the whole thing, and you can literally glue it on the inside of your storage compartment, and that way this thing isn't rattling around banging inside of your ski. And that was like a no-brainer for me. That, I think this is 3D printed. I think it's 3D printed. You can see like the striations on it from 3D printing. Kind of neat. So good for you good for you, Matt, for 3D printing. That's pretty cool. All right. Yeah, it's all bad news here. Reginald writes, put a deposit on a Sea-Doo RX-TX 300 in August. Still waiting for my ski to arrive. Anyone in the same predicament? Oh, yeah. You're going to be waiting, bro. I don't know why you guys put them in August and September. Holy cow. Yeah, Jeff T writes, yes, I ordered my 2022 RX-TX in September with a deposit. Still waiting. Yeah, Sea-Doos are coming with dashboard. You have to wait for dashboards. Ordered a GTX Limited 300 in November for a March delivery. Fingers crossed. Expect April. Let's see here. William Wilson writes, Florida is the biggest market for PWCs. Not only is it the biggest market for PWCs in the U.S., it's also the biggest market for PWC in the world. House prices have soared, so homeowners in Florida feel richer by hundreds of thousands of dollars they can use as security to buy a PWC. Yeah, hopefully their money, hopefully the bubble doesn't burst and suddenly housing prices typically don't drop. I in my 43 years have never seen prices go back down dramatically. My dad used to make the joke, or actually it's not so much a joke, even though it's a little funny, is the cost of a can of Coca-Cola. Yeah, everyone uses milk, but it's like, dude, cost of a can of Coke was 5 cents when I was a kid. Right now, a regular 8-ounce can of Coke is $1.25 in some places. Don't count like amusement parks because it's like $4 or $3. But in some vending machines, it's $1 even for a regular can of Coke. Okay, it's sugar water. They're laughing their butts off at us. So anyway. David Pate writes, chip shortage is real. I work for an auto manufacturer and we aren't running production Tuesday and Wednesday. David, you work for Ford, don't you? I think I remember talking to you that you worked for Ford. Oh, Ford is feeling the pinch, dude. Oh. It's not going to be, the ski is not going to be in the showroom, DC. It's going to be boxed in a crate in the back. It's not going to be in the showroom. It's not the showroom ski. Chris, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard in my life. A body shop guy told me if we debadge safety stickers when wrapping a ski, the insurance won't cover it for an accident. Do you know if this is generally true or not? Wow, that's the first I've ever heard of that, and that is the Mickiest Mouse thing I've ever heard. Holy crap! I'll tell you what you do. If you're nervous about it, buy an extra set of stickers. Keep them in your house or your garage. And if you wad up your ski and you drag it home, put the stickers on. I'm teaching you how to be dishonest. Sorry. How can they send a machine without an ECU? Have the machines been tested before they go to the dealership? Yeah, engines are ran. Engines are ran. Not very long, but they're ran separate of the ski. They're just plugged into a wire harness, put on a break-in bench, and they go, whoa, and they fire up the engine with open exhaust, and then they kill it and they drop it in. Now Yamaha and Cowie, I haven't been to the Juarez plant for Sea-Doo, but typically when they have a finished ski, they plop the whole thing in the water and then they fire it up and to make sure there's no leaks and that the ski runs. Now, humorously enough, the ski can't run without the dashboard. Throws all sorts of codes. The ECU won't run without the dashboard. So even if the ECU was in it and didn't have a dash, how can it run? Right? All right, we got another super chat. Jeff Water Runner Feller writes, I have a deposit on an FX SVHO back in August. Another dealer has a GP 1800R HO available. I like to go fast. Would you buy the 2022 GP 1800R HO or wait for the FX SVHO? I would almost always recommend the HO just because of the fuel mileage. It's fast enough. They have, they have all the really neat auto trim controls and launch control. It's a sporty ski. It's really fun. It's a wet ride, but it's a hot rod. You're buying a sport bike. You're buying a hot rod. The FX SVHO, I loved. I think very highly of it. I love the hull. I'm very glad they're going to fiberglass with it. I think the improvements made to the ride plate are good, but you run the risk of not being able to have a ski until June or July. You run the risk of playing. You're gambling. All right. You want to gamble? Gamble. I don't like to gamble. I'm not a gambler. I don't like risk. All right. I make very informed decisions. I do my due diligence. So I would tend to say get that GP 1800R HO and just tear up your lake and be a menace. Absolutely be a menace and just have the time of your life. I think you'll really like it personally. And you know what? If you like it, but you want something faster, and at the end of the year, a big bump of SVHOs come out, guess what? You're going to be able to sell that HO and walk in. I bet you. I get the HO. All right. Hi, Mike Allen writes, hi, Kevin. Looking back at your time with the 2021 RXPX 300, is there anything you particularly didn't like? Should I go with a 21 or wait for a 22? There's no physical difference between the 21 and 22 besides color. I would have preferred the Millennium Yellow, but beggars can't be choosers. They gave me purple. Okay, cool. My daughters liked the purple, so the purple princess it became. RXPX, it's interesting. I really like the RXPX, and for judging it for Watercraft of the Year, it won by 1 point over the Superjet. And the Superjet won by 1 point over the Fish Pro 170. So it was a tight race. RXPX, for me, I needed all the accessories. I needed the back seat. I needed the bow storage in the hood. It is not as bad as any of the ST3s without Pro Series sponsons, but it definitely needed the Pro Series sponsons, definitely needed the SCOM. So it needs a lot for me to love it like I do. Out of the box, I wasn't tickled. With the accessories that I put on it, became something I really came to really enjoy. So the other half of that is the hull. The T3R hull is a very aggressive hull. It's still, even with the changes the changes that they made with the sponsors, with writing experience and everything like that, the hull is still not great in rough water. It's better. It's way better than the ST3, but it's not great. I would say skis that are great in rough water are the Ultra 300, 310 series and the SVHO HO FX series. But as far as quibbles or complaints that I had about the RX PX, I wish it had. I don't want to say this because it's kind of mean, but I really wish it had true telescopic steering that wasn't the optional adjustable one, because that adjustable neck is off of the Tricks, and I've ridden Tricks Sparks before, and I've put those handlebars, I've shoved those handlebars all the way down. It just doesn't. I've wrenched it and wrenched it and wrenched it till it's so damn hard that it nearly cut your hand, and I've still jostled it down. I miss telescopic steering like what was on the FZR Yamahas. The FZR still remains a high watermark for me. So I hope that doesn't confuse you. I know I'm throwing a curveball at you, but was really one of my favorites. I mean, one of my favorites in recent times. All right. Let's see. We got Reginald's question. We got Billy's point. Sea-Doo Scotty wrote, I received a letter from Kawasaki about another hood recall on my 2021 STX 160 LX. I have a tether on mine and never had an issue. Well, I mean, yeah, if you modify it, there's very easy ways to modify it so it'll never fling open. But if you spent the money, I think you want it to work right. Chris writes a good question. Kevin, with this info, do you think the used market will skyrocket again like it did the first year or 18 months or whatever after when COVID hit, or not so much? Good question. I think demand is going to dwindle this year. I think demand is going to dwindle because it's not so much COVID, I need something to do, I've got money burning a hole in my pocket. It's my money doesn't buy me what it used to buy me 2 years ago. The cost of gas is $4.50 a gallon. My electricity bill has doubled. What the hell am I going to do? It ain't going to be buying a new Sea-Doo. Right? When your dollar gets you less, buying a jet ski is the last thing on your mind. All right. That's a question. Statement doesn't make any sense, so I'll just move on. Jason Garbish writes, I was on the list for a 2022 Yamaha, but a 2021 showed up at my dealer, took my name off the list, and bought that 21. So glad I did. Well, good. Well, again, that's one of the things. You might even have a deposit locked in with the dealer that like was a non-refundable deposit. You can transfer it to a different unit. So again, that dealership wants to have a happy customer. So just work with your dealer if you do have a deposit on something and you're afraid that we might have a repeat. So that's what you got to do. Yeah. All right. Yeah, Mike, I got your question. Call the manufacturer. You know, is that supposed to be adrenaline? You can't even spell it. Wow. Adrenaline, your comments are just goof. Just goofy. Call the manufacturer. Yeah, go ahead and just get on the horn with Cowie. I say stay on top of the dealers, but if you want more insight, go to the source and pest room. Yeah, because Janet on the customer service line at Yamaha is really going to be really dialed in on when the manufacturer is going to receive the new shipment of silicone chips. Yeah, okay, dude. Okay. Dude. You guys. I swear. Yeah, Atlas. I don't know. I personally, if you haven't signed a contract and you gave them a deposit and they won't give it back, I think there's something fishy there. But that's between you and your dealer. Mike, I answered your question. All right. Okay. From a J Frometta writes, I had a deposit on a 2022 VXHO and a 2021 FX SVHO showed up at the store and didn't think about it and got it because it's gonna be a hard time. Okay, yeah. And hey, I'll tell you what, man, jump on that FX SVHO. It's a riot. It's a blast. Just make sure you treat it right. Don't beach it. Don't run it up the bunks of your trailer too damn hard. Just be really mindful of the fact that you have paint underneath your bond line. It's paint. Well, it's paint above your bond line too, but that ski is painted. So just be really aware that you have a painted ski and be on top of it. That's really all you got to do. Oh, Jason, I'm sorry to hear that. He writes, my local Yamaha dealer wouldn't do a deposit transfer for me last year. Guys, you got to do your due diligence. Shop around for a dealer. All right. There's some really shady dudes out there, and then there's some really awesome guys out there. I'm begging you, do your due diligence. Ask around. Don't be in a rush. All right? Don't be in a rush. Do your homework. I get so many people writing me because they're burned, that they got burned, that they got ripped off, that they got screwed one way or another. And I feel like I'm their dad just going, well, shouldn't have done that, shouldn't you? Guess you learned a lesson this time, kid. Let's go out and get a milkshake. I mean, I'm turning into everyone's dad. It's just like, well, you learned a valuable lesson, didn't you? There's no way. You can't fix some of these things. People get screwed because they get in bed with other people. And I just, my heart breaks. I'm sorry to hear it. Flo writes, just wondering how much would my 2013 300 LX with very low hours get on an open market in Chicago? I don't know. I'm not boattrader.com. We have a relationship with them, but go find out. See what other ultras are going for, and then price accordingly. Do your own homework. Sorry. I'm not mad. I'm not trying to be a jerk, Flo. I'm being a snarky butthead, but I'm being snarky. I apologize. All right. People make dumb decisions because they don't want to wait. Well, yeah, the rushing thing is don't rush into it. Don't rush into it. How many hours have I put on my RXPX so far? I'm in the 30s, which I know isn't a lot. I know like guys who put 30 on a weekend, but I think I broke 40 hours. Spencer Thompson writes, what's a good way to tell whether it's a dealership or a stealership? Gosh. I tell people, do your own homework. How do I do my own homework? Tell me how to do my homework. I'm laughing because I want to die. Oh my gosh, I think you broke me. Oh my gosh. Florida Dream Rides, April or May? April or May? No, Spencer. You're fine. But okay. All right, Better Business Bureau. Go check out their rating at Better Business Bureau. See if there is a group near in the area where that dealership is, and ask them, hey, what do you think of Joe Blow's dealership? Oh, he's the best, dude. Those guys are awesome. Ask for Tony or whatever. Okay. Or they say, dude, those guys suck. Oh, their service department's the worst. Don't touch them. Okay, fine. Go to Facebook. Find a group that's in the general vicinity of these guys and literally ask and go, hey guys, I don't want to sound dumb, but it's the first time I'm ever going to buy anything from these guys. Has anyone done any business with this dealership with, ABC, ABC Yamaha or whatever their name is? And people will be like, oh yeah, dude, I bought a ski from them a couple years ago. They're great. Or, oh, I took my ski in last year for service and they totally screwed it up. Whatever. But you got to ask. So yeah, you just got to ask around. Better Business Bureau, go to their website, go to their Facebook page, go to their Instagram page, and see if people are bad mouthing them or if they're singing their praises. Then you find a Facebook group and ask a bunch of jet skiers, what do you guys think about this? It'll help you out, I promise. We will never call you for Cliff's Notes. No, I'm over an hour and a half. It's not a short version. Yeah. Oh, we got a super chat. I was almost done. What do you think of a 2006? That can't be right. What do you think of a 2006 Sea-Doo GTI SE 130? Are they reliable? Boy, they've been around forever. They ride, dude, they ride like a cork in a storm. I mean, those GTIs just beat a 2006 or a 2016? I think you mean 2016. They didn't even have a 130 then. Did they? No, they didn't have 130 horse. Oh, they did. Blue and yellow. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's gonna have a million hours on it. I mean, David, 2006. He swears by it. 2006. You know what? They're tough as nails because so many people beat the hell out of it. I don't know how many hours are on it. I don't know what kind of condition it's in. The build quality is a little wonky. As far as the plastics, you're not going to have to worry about a carbon seal going bad on that guy, just as long as you don't shallow start it. 50 hours, that's not bad for a 06. Dude, get it and beat the hell out of it. I'd say get it and just beat it like a $2 horse. You know what? That'll work. I think that'll work. Yeah. Beat the heck out of it. Have fun. Wow, funny. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, we're at an hour and a half, so I'm going to pull a plug on this one. It did not turn into the political storm that I was expecting, so hallelujah. I appreciate that. And guys, yeah. Hopefully, this gave you something to noodle on. I definitely want to encourage you to do some homework, do some due diligence. Emailing me is not doing your homework because I'm going to brush you off and tell you to go look around and start digging. But guys, if I'm wrong, I'm elated that I'm wrong. If I am right, I strongly suggest stocking up on some non-perishables because food's going to get expensive. If you can, properly store fuel for the year. Even 10% ethanol can stay sealed in a proper sealed barrel for 16 months without any sort of problem. I've heard up to 2 years. Some people say you have to have an additive in there. Stock up if you can. If you live somewhere where you can have a generator in your backyard and you start having blackouts, wire your home off of your box, your meter box, with a 220 plug. You can't run your whole house off of your generator, if you go to Harbor Freight and get get a 9500 generator. But my inner prepper is coming out big time. And I've always been a little bit of a prepper. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best. That's kind of where I'm at right now. So, guys, I wish you the best. Good luck. We'll do something a little more light and goofy next week. Wow. Yeah. Just take safety into account. Stock up on pancake mix and juices that don't go bad like Sunny D and stuff like that. Just kind of do a little bit, even if it's just for a couple months. I'm afraid of what's going to happen this summer. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'm happy to be wrong. So take care, guys. We'll talk soon. Make sure to subscribe to the newsletter. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thanks again for all the likes and the subscriptions and making these a lot of fun. Guys, we'll talk soon.